There you are. Thank you very much. Professor Willard of our State University. Only a few brief notes, Professor. Unfortunately, our time is limited.
Grover's Corners, let me see. Grover's Corners lies on the old Pleistocene brand of the Appalachian Range. I may say it's some of the oldest land in the world. We're very proud of that. A shelf of Devonian basalt crosses it with vestiges of Mesozoic shale and some sandstone outcroppings, but that's all more recent, 200 to 300 million years ago. Some highly interesting fossils have been found, and they say unique fossils, about 2 to 3 miles out of town in Silas Peckham's cow pasture. They can be seen at the museum and the university at any time, that is, in a reasonable time. Shall I read some of Professor Gruber's notes on the meteorological situation? Mean precipitation, etc.?
I'm afraid we won't have time for that, Professor, but perhaps a few notes on the history of man here.
Yes, and ecological data. Early Amerindian stock, Cotahatchee tribes, no earlier than the 10th century of this era. Now entirely disappeared. Possible traces in 3 families. Migration towards the end of the 17th century of the English brachiocephalic blue-eyed stock, for the most part. Since then, some Slav and Mediterranean.
And the population, Professor?
Within the town limits, 2,640.
One moment, please.
Yes, indeed. The population at the moment is 2,642. Post this shift brings in 507 more, making it 3,149. Mortality and birth rates constant. By my person's gauge, 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. I'm sure we're all very much obliged.
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
Thank you. And now, for the political and social report, Edgar Webb. Mr. Webb?
Oh, he'll be out in a minute. He just put his MOPs in an apple.
Thank you, Mrs. Webb.
Charles, everybody's waiting.
Mr. Webb is the publisher and editor of the Grover's Corners Sentinel. That's our local paper, you know.
Well, I don't have to tell you that we here are run by a board of select men. All males vote at the age of 21. Women vote indirect. We're lower middle class, spring women, professional men, 10% illiterate laborers. Religiously, politically, we're 86% Republican, 6% Democrat, 4% Socialist, rest indifferent. Religiously, we're 85% Protestant, 12% Catholic, rest indifferent.
Have you any comments, Mr. Webb?
Pretty ordinary town if you ask me. A little more well-behaved than most. Probably a lot duller too. The young people here seem to like it well enough though. 90% of them coming out of high school settle down right here, even after they've been away to college.
Well, now, are there any questions in the audience for Mr. Webb? Why, yes. Please bring out that microphone. Thank you very much. Go ahead, ma'am.
Is there much drinking in Grover's Corner?
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you'd call much. Saturday nights, the farm hands go down to Ellery Greeno's stable and holler some. We've got 1 or 2 town drunks, but they're always having remorses when an evangelist comes to town. But no, ma'am, I wouldn't say liquor's a regular thing in the home here, except for in the medicine chest. Right good for a snake bite, you know, always was.
Is there anyone in town? Oh, one moment. Could you come up and take the microphone? We can all hear you once again, please.
Is there anyone in town aware of social justice and industrial inequality?
Oh yes, we all are, something terrible. But it seems like everyone's more concerned with talking about who's rich and who's poor. Oh, I don't know. It seems like everyone's just hunting for a way for the lazy and quarrelsome to sink to the bottom, and the diligent and hardworking to rise to the top. But it ain't easy to find. Meanwhile, we do all we can to help those that can't help themselves, and those that can, we just let them be. Are there any other questions?
Mr. Webb, is there any culture or love of beauty in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, there ain't much. Not the sense that you mean. Come to think of it, there are some girls that play piano at high school commencement, but they ain't happy about it. But those other things, there ain't much. But I think now is the time to tell you that we enjoy a lot of the pleasures of the kind here in Grover's Corners. We like to watch the sun come over the mountains in the morning, and we pay a great deal of attention to the birds. And we like to watch the seasons change. Yes, everyone knows about them. Handel's Largo, Robinson and Crusoe, the Bible, we all know these things. And Whistler's Mother, but that's about as far as we go. But those other things, they aren't much.
So I thought. Thank you, Mr. Webb. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Webb. Now, let's get back to the town. A few hours have passed. There's an early afternoon calm in our town, and all 2,642 had their dinners and washed their plates. There's horses dozing at hitching posts, and you can hear the humming and the buzzing coming from the buggies up on Main Street. Doc Gibbs is in his office, tapping people and making them say, ah. And Mr. Webb will be coming out to mow his lawn. 1 man in 10 thinks it's a privilege to push his own lawnmower. I know, sir. It's later than I thought. Why, here come the children back from school already.
I can't, Lois. I've got to go home and help my mother. I promised. Bye.
Emily, walk simply. Who do you think you are today?
Papa, you're terrible. 1 minute you tell me to stand up straight, and the next minute you call me names. I just don't listen to you.
Golly, I've never got kissed from such a great lady before.
Excuse me, Mrs. Forrest.
Oh, you go out and play in the field, young man. You have no business playing baseball on Main Street.
Awfully sorry, Mrs. Forrest. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You made a fine speech in class today.
Well, I was really ready to make a speech about the Monroe Doctrine, but at the last minute, Miss Corcoran made me talk about the Louisiana Purchase. I worked an awful long time on both of them.
You know, it's funny, Emily. From my window over there, I can just see your head nice when you're doing your homework over in your room.
Why can you?
You certainly do stick to it, Emily. I don't see how you can sit still that long. I guess you like school.
Well, I always feel it's something you have to go through.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, really. Passes the time.
Yeah. Emily, what do you say? We might work out a kind of telegraph system from your window to mine, and once in a while you could give me a sort of hint or two about one of those algebra problems.
Oh, George, I don't
No, I don't mean the answers, Emily. No, of course not. Just some little hint.
Ah. Well, I think hints are allowed. So, if you get stuck, George, just listen to me, and I'll give you some hints.
Emily, you're just naturally bright, I guess.
I figure it's just the way a person's born.
Yeah. You see, I want to be a farmer, and my Uncle Luke says that whenever I'm ready, I can just go over and work on his farm, and if I'm any good, I can just gradually happen.
You mean the house and everything?
Yeah. Well, thanks for the talk, Emily. I better be off to the baseball field. Good afternoon, Mrs. Webb.
George.
So long, Emily.
So long, George.
Emily, come and help me string some of these weeds. George Gibbs let us have a real conversation today, didn't he? Why, he must be growing up. Now let's see. How old must George be?
I don't know.
Why, he must be almost 16.
Mom, I made a speech in class today. I was very good.
You must have said it to your father at supper. What was it about?
The Louisiana Purchase. It was like silk off of school. I'm going to make speeches all my life. Mom, are these big enough?
Try and make them a little bigger if you can.
Mama, will you answer me a question? Serious?
Seriously, dear, not serious.
Seriously, will you?
Of course I will.
Mama, am I good looking?
Of course you are. All my children have got good features. I'd be ashamed if they hadn't.
Well, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, am I pretty?
I've already told you yes. You have a nice young pretty face. Now stop that. I've never heard of such foolishness.
Mama, you never told us the truth about anything.
I am telling you the truth.
Mama, were you pretty?
I'd say I was. I was the prettiest girl in town next to Mamie Cartwright.
Well, you gotta say something about me. Am I pretty enough to get anybody? To get people interested in me?
Emily, you make me tired. You're pretty enough for all normal purposes. Come along now, I'll have a walk with you.
Mama, you're no help at all.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. I'm going to have to interrupt you again. Thank you, Mrs. Webb. Thank you, Emily. You see, I think it's a good time to tell you that the Cartwright interests have just begun building a new bank in Grover's Corners. We had to go to Vermont for the marble, I'm sorry to say. But they've asked a friend of mine that they should put in the cornerstone for people to dig up 1,000 years from now. Naturally, they're going to put in a copy of the New York Times and of the Grover's Corner Sentinel. We're particularly interested in this because scientists have discovered this new kind of glue, a silicate glue that can keep documents for 1,000, 2,000 years. And they're going to put in a copy of William Shakespeare's works, and the Bible, and the United States Constitution. What do you think, folks? What do you say? You know, Babylon once had 2 million people in it, and all we know about them is the names of the kings, and some copies of wheat contracts, and copies of contracts for the selling of slaves. But every day, a family sat down to supper, and the father came home from work and smoke went up the chimney, same as here. And even in Greece and Rome, all we really know about the people there is what we can piece together from the joking poems and comedies that they wrote for the theater back then. And that's why I'm going to put a copy of this play into the cornerstone. So the people 1,000 years from now will know a few more facts about us, more so than the Treaty of Versailles or the Lindbergh flight. So people 1,000 years from now, this is how we were in the provinces north of New York at the turn of the 20th century. This is how we were in our growing up, and in our marrying, and in our living, and in our dying.
Look here, everybody. Music comes into the world to bring pleasure. Softer! Softer! Get it out of your heads that music's only good when it's loud. When you loudest to the Methodist, you couldn't beat him even if you wanted to. Now again, tenors.
Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
Can't work at all. The moonlight's terrible.
Emily, did you get the third problem?
Which?
The third.
Why, yes, George, that's the easiest of them all.
Can't see it. Can you give me a hint?
I'll tell you one thing. The answer's in yards.
In yards? How do you mean?
In square yards.
Oh, in square yards.
Yes, George, don't you see it?
Yes.
In square yards of wallpaper.
Wall? Oh, square yards of wallpaper. Thanks a lot, Emily.
Why, the moonlight's so terrible. Choir practice is going on. I think if you hold your breath, you can hear the train all the way down to Concord. Hear it?
What do you know?
Well, I better go back and try to work. Good night, George.
Good night, Emily. Thanks.
Before I forget it, how many of you will be able to come in Tuesday afternoon to sing at Fred Hershey's wedding? Show your hands. That'll be fine. That'll be right nice. We'll do the same music we did for James Roberts' last night. Now we'll do Art Thou Weary and Art Thou Languid. It's a question, ladies and gentlemen. Make it talk. Ready?
George, you come down a minute?
Yes, Bob.
Make yourself comfortable, George. I'll only keep you a minute. George, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
What do you want to do when school's over?
Well, you know, Bob. I want to be a farmer on Uncle Luke's farm.
You'll be willing to get up early to milk and feed the stock? You'll be able to hoe and hay all day?
Hey, of course. What do you mean, Bob?
Well, George, when I was in my office today, I heard a funny sound. Do you know what it was? It was your mother chopping wood. There, you see your mother getting up early, cooking meals all day long, washing and ironing, and still she has to go out in the backyard and chop wood. I suppose she just got tired of asking you. She figured it'd be easier to do it with herself. And you eat her meals, and you put on the clothes she laid out nice for you, and then you run off and play baseball, like she's some hired girl we keep around the house, but that we don't like very much. Well, I knew all I had to do was call your attention to it. Here's a handkerchief, son. George, I've decided to raise your spending money 25 cents a week. Not, of course, for chopping wood for your mother, since that's a present you give her, but because you're getting older, and I imagine there are lots of things you must find to do with it.
Thanks, Bob.
Let's see. Tomorrow's your payday. You can count on it. I guess Rebecca will want to have some more too. Wonder what could be keeping your mother. Choir practice never was as late as this.
It's only 8:30, Bob.
I don't know why she's in that old choir. She hasn't any more voice than an old crow, traipsing around the streets at this hour of the night. It's about time to retire, don't you think? Yes, Mom.
Good night, Martha. Good night, Mr. Boston.
Also, Mr. Webb, I never want to in the paper.
My slaves. Good night, Irma. Real nice choir practice, wasn't it? Brother, what made that move? Potato weather for sure. Naturally, I didn't listen to anything from the others, but now that we're alone, it's the worst scandal that ever was in town. What? Simon Stimson? Now Luella. But Julia talked about ordinance of a church, drinking drunk year after year. You know he was drunk tonight. Now Luella, we all know about Mr. Stimson. We all know about the trouble he's been through. Dr. Ferguson knows too, and if he chooses to keep him on there in his job, the only thing the rest of us can do is just not to notice it. Not to notice it? It's getting worse.
No, it isn't, Luella. I've been there twice as long as you have, and it doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to. My, I hate to go to bed at a night like this. I better hurry. The kids will be up till all hours. Good night, Luella.
Can you get home safely, Luella? It's as bright as day. I can see Mr. Soames yelling out the window right now. You think we've been to a dance to wait a minute? We'll carry on. Well, we had a real nice time.
You were late enough.
My friend getting in later than usual.
And you, stopping at the corner and gossip with a bunch of hens.
Now, Frank, don't be so grouchy. How about the smell of yo-yo from the window? Isn't that wonderful? What'd you do all day today?
Oh, I read, as usual. What were the girls gossiping about tonight?
Believe me, Frank, there is something to gossip about.
Simon Stimson, far gone, was he?
Worst I've seen him. How will that end, Frank? Dr. Ferguson can't forgive him forever.
I suppose I don't know about Simon Stimson's affairs than anyone in this town. Some folks just ain't cut out for small town life. I don't know how that'll end, but there's nothing we can do but just leave it alone. Come, get in.
Not yet, Frank, I'm worried about you.
What are you worried about?
I think it's my duty to make sure you get a real rest and change and if I get that legacy while I'm going through it. Insist
Julia,
upon
there's no
it.
sense in going over
Frankly,
that
it's
again.
unreasonable.
Listen, Julia, it's getting late. Next thing you know, you'll catch a cold. Gave George a piece of my mind tonight. Reckon you'll have your wood chopped for a while anyway. No, start getting upstairs.
Almost so many things to pick up, it seems like. You know, Frank, Mrs. Fairchild locks her front door every night. All those people up the part of town do.
They're all getting city-fied, that's the trouble with them. They haven't got nothing fit to burgle, and everybody knows it.
Get out there, there's nothing going on this window. Always spoiling everything.
Let me just look a minute.
Use your own window.
I did, George, but there's no moon there. Do you know what I think? Do you? The moon's getting nearer and nearer, and there'll be a big explosion.
In fact, if the moon were getting nearer, the guys that sit up at night watching it would tell everyone about it. It would be in all the newspapers.
George, do you think the moon is shining on South America, Canada, and half the way around the world right now?
Oh, probably is.
It's 9:30. Most of the lights are off in town. No, here comes Constable Warren, checking some of the doors on Main Street. And Editor Webb, after putting his newspaper to bed.
Good evening, Bill.
Evening, Mr. Webb.
Quite a mood.
Yep.
All quiet tonight?
Samuelson's been all around. Just saw his wife about to hunt for him, so why not get away? Here he is now.
Oh, good evening, Simon. Tell us who's settled down for the night. Mind if I walk away with good night?
I don't know how that's going then, Mr. Webb.
Always in a peck of trouble, one thing after another. Bill, if you steal my boy smoking cigarettes, give him a word for me, will you? He thinks a lot of you, Bill.
I don't think he smokes no cigarettes. At least the way he's no more than 2 or 3 a year.
Well, I hope not. Good night, Bill.
Good night, Mr. Webb.
Who is that up there? Myrtle, is that you?
No, it's me, Papa.
Why aren't you in bed?
I don't know. I can't sleep yet. The moonlight's just so wonderful. And the smell of Mrs. Gibbs' heliotrope. Can you smell it?
Yes. You have many troubles on your mind, haven't you?
Troubles, Papa. Oh no.
Well, enjoy yourself, but don't let your mother catch you.
I don't. I never got a chance to talk about the letter Jay Comic after we finished on Tuesday. He wrote Jen a letter, and on the address was like this. Jane Crawford, Crawford Farms, Gover's Corners, Sutton County, New Hampshire, United States of America.
What's funny about that?
But wait, it's not finished. United States of America, continent of North America. Western Hemisphere, the Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God. That's what it said on the envelope.
What do you know?
And the postman brought it to her just the same.
What do you know?
And that's the end of the first act, folks. Time 3 years have gone by. Yes, the sun has come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked our mountain, and rain has brought down a lot of the dirt. Some babies that weren't even born yet have begun speaking entire sentences. And a number of people who thought they would write young and spry and found that they can't quite bound up a set of stairs like they used to, without their heart fluttering a little bit. Yes, all that can happen in 1,000 days. And nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways too. A number of young people have fallen in love and gotten married. Yes, our mountains have been bit back a few fractions of an inch, and millions of gallons of water have gone through our mill. And here and there, a new roof has been set up over a new house. Almost everybody in the world gets married, you know. And in our town, there aren't hardly any exceptions. Most everybody climbs into their graves, married. The first act was called The Daily Life. This act is called Love and Marriage. There's a third act coming after this one, and I reckon you can guess what that one's about. But it's 3 years later. 1904, July 7th, just after high school commencement, which means that a number of our young people decided to jump up and get married. It seems as after they finish their final examinations in solid geometry and Cicero's orations that they find themselves quite fit to be married. It's early morning. And this time, it's been raining. It's been pouring and thundering. Mrs. Gibbs's garden and Mrs. Webb's there, drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, drenched. And all yesterday up on Main Street, the rain looked like curtains being blown along. We begin any minute now. There, the 5:45 for Boston. Now Mrs. Webb and Mrs. Gibbs will be coming down to make breakfast soon, just as though for any ordinary day. I don't have to tell the women in my audience that these two ladies that they see before them have made 3 meals a day, one of them for 20 years and the other for 40. And no summer vacations. They've raised 2 children apiece, and washed and cleaned house, and never a nervous breakdown. It's like one of those Middle West poets said, you've got to love life to have life. But you've got to have life to love life. It's what they call a vicious circle. Giddy up, Bessie. Here comes Howie Newsom delivering the milk. And Cy Crowell delivering the paper just like his brother before him. Morning, Cy. Anything in the papers I have to know?
Nothing much, except the news about the best baseball pitcher Grover's Corners ever had, George Gibbs. He could hit and run bases, too.
Yep, I know.
Well,
I guess I can stop and talk about my mind.
I don't think we could give up the thing we loved so much just to get married. Would you, Howie?
That's no sign. Never had any tell about that. You're a brother, Bill.
Seen it for 10 days. We're having fun. River's been rising all night.
Cyclops all over about George Gibbs.
Yes, sir. That's the way it goes. Back in Newport side, we have a player. Now named George Gibbs. Name of, yeah. Inside. Went down to me and give a parcel. How's the weather with you today, Howard?
Oh, ain't bad. I think maybe a prayer.
Well, that's what's up.
Good morning, Howie. Nice to meet you again.
Morning, Mrs. Gibbs. I think maybe a prayer.
Certainly hope it will. How much did you want? Well, Howie, I'm going to have possible relations, so it looks like only 3 milk to a cream.
My wife told me to tell you that I would. No.
Come on, Howie. Tell your wife that it's okay.
Yes, she did. I'm sure. Good morning, Mrs. Webb.
Miss Seriously. Now, I know I told you 4-course milk, but I hope you can spare me another.
Yes, ma'am. 2.
Will it start raining again?
Just say Mrs. Gibbs about me now. My wife told me. We'll be there.
Thank you. And thank Mrs. Newsom. And we're counting on seeing you at the wedding.
Yes, we'll be there.
Well, Mom, the day has come. You're losing one of your chicks.
Frank, there's not another word I need. I feel like crying every minute. Still not ready for call.
The groom's up shaving himself. Only, there ain't an awful lot to shave. Whistling and singing like he's glad to leave us. Every now and then he says, I do. But it don't sound very convincing to me.
Frank, I don't know how to get along. For me, she's always seems like he's put on more things. Frank, they're too young. Emily won't think of such things and such as difficult as in a week.
I was remembering my wedding morning, Julia. I was the scaredest young fellow in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I made a mistake for sure. And when I saw you coming down that aisle, I thought you were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. The only trouble was, I'd never seen you before. There I was in the Congregational Church, marrying a total stranger.
How do you think I
Why, Julia Hersey, French toast.
Speak like me, can I have to do something?
How'd you sleep last night, Julia?
Heard a lot of yells.
Yes. I get a shock every time I think of George Gibbs setting out to be a family man. That great gangling thing. I tell you, Julia, there is nothing so terrifying in the world as a son. The relationship between father and son is the darndest, awkwardest.
Mother and daughters? So are you?
They'll have their own troubles, I suppose, but there's nothing we can do about that. Everyone's got a right to their own troubles.
Yes, I suppose people are meant to go through life two by two. Take natural from one side.
You want to know one of the things I was afraid of when we married, Julia?
Go along.
I was afraid we wouldn't have conversational material more than last us a few weeks. I was afraid we'd run out and eat our meals in silence, and that's a fact. Well, you and I have been conversing for 20 years now, without any noticeable bearing spells.
Well, good weather, bad weather. It's your choice, but let's find something to say. Did you hear Rebecca's story around upstairs?
No. Every day of the year she hasn't been managing everybody's business up there. She's hiding in the room. I get the impression she's crying.
Lord's sakes, this has to stop. Rebecca! Rebecca, come and get your breakfast!
Morning, everybody. 5 more hours to live.
George, where do you think you are going?
Just across the grass to see my girl.
George, put on your overshoes. It's raining torrents. Don't leave this house without you prepared for it.
Come on, it's just a step.
George, don't get your devil's cold and you'll call all the servants.
George, do as your mother tells you.
Tomorrow on, the result from all weathers will order into my house to live wisely. Thank you. Mrs. Webbs used to call her at 7 in the morning. Here, take a cup of coffee.
Morning, Mother Webb.
Goodness, George, you frightened me. Now, you can come in a minute out of the web, but you know I can't invite you in.
Why not?
Well, George, you know as well as I do. The bride can't see her groom on his wedding day. Not until he sees her in church.
That's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, George.
You don't believe in that superstition too, do you?
Oh, there's a lot of common sense in some superstitions, George.
Millions have followed it, George. You don't want to be the first to fly in the face of custom.
Where's Emily?
She's still asleep. I haven't heard a sound out of her.
Emily's asleep?
Why, of course she is. We were up till all hours sewing and packing. Now I'll tell you what I'll do. You sit down here a minute with Mr. Webb and drink this cup of coffee. Now I'll go see if she doesn't come down and surprise you. There's some bacon too, but don't be too long about it.
Well, George, how are you?
I'm fine. Mr. Webb, what sense could there be in a superstition like that?
Well, on her wedding morning, a girl's head had to be full of clothes or one thing or another. Don't you think that's probably it?
Yes, I never thought of that.
A girl's apt to be mighty nervous on her wedding day, George.
I wish a fellow could get married without all that marching up and down.
Every man that's ever lived has felt that way about it, George, but it hasn't been any use. It's the women folk who built up weddings, my boy. A man looks pretty small at a wedding, all those good women standing shoulder to shoulder, making sure the knot's tied in a mighty public way.
So you believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Oh yes. Now don't you misunderstand me, my boy. Marriage is a wonderful thing. And don't be mistaken about it.
Mr. Webb, how old were you when you got married?
Oh, I just come out of college and I began to settle down. And Mrs. Webb wasn't much older than what Emily is now. Oh, age hasn't much to do with it, not compared to other things.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I don't know. Was I going to say something? George, I was thinking the other night of some advice my father gave me when I got married. Charles, he said, start out early showing who's all the boss, he said. The best thing to do is to give an order, even if it doesn't make sense, just so she'll learn to obey. And if anything about your wife irritates you, her conversation or anything, just get up and leave the house. That'll make it clear to her, he said. And oh yes, he said, never let your wife know how much money you have, never!
Mr. Webb, I don't think I could.
So I took the opposite of my father's advice, and I've been happy ever since. And let that be a lesson to you, George. Never take advice on personal matters. George, are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
What?
Are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
Well, I never thought about it. Uncle Luke.
A book came into my office the other day on the Philo system of raising chickens, and I'd like you to read it. I was thinking of starting in a small way in the backyard, putting in an incubator in the basement.
Charles, are you talking about that old incubator again? I thought you two would be talking about things worthwhile.
Well, Margot, if you want to give the boy some good advice, I'll go upstairs to leave you alone with him.
George, Emily's got to come downstairs to eat her breakfast. She sent you her love, but she doesn't want to see you in it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, I guess you haven't heard of that older superstition then.
What are you talking about, Charles?
No bridegroom should see his father-in-law on the day of the wedding or near it. You remember that.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Thank you, Mrs. Webb. Now I'm going to interrupt you again. You see, we're going to see how big things like this begin. This wedding, this plan to spend a lifetime together. I'm awful interested to see how big things like that begin. You know how it is. You're 21 or 22 and you've made some decisions. And then whoosh, you are 70 and you have been a lawyer for 50 years. And that little white-haired woman next to you has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. How do big things like that begin? George and Emily are going to show you the conversation that they had when they first realized that, well, as the saying goes, they were meant for one another. I want you to remember the days when you were very young, and particularly the ones when you were first in love. When you were like a person sleepwalking, and you didn't quite see what road you were on, and you didn't quite hear what was being said to you. You were just a little bit crazy. Will you remember that? Please. Well, 3 o'clock. That means the high school will be letting out. Now George has just been elected president of the junior class. And as it's summer, that means that he'll be president of the senior class all next year. And Emily has just been elected treasurer and secretary. Now, I don't have to tell you how important that is. Why, yes, here they are coming down Main Street now.
I can't believe I've got to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine? Ernestine, could you come over later and do Latin? Isn't that sister the worst thing? Tell your mother you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Bye, Fred.
Emily, can I carry your books home for you?
Well, thank you. Isn't far.
Excuse me just a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm a little late, just start practice anyway. Give her some long highways.
Bye, Lizzie.
Goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you were elected too, Emily.
Thank you.
Why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you asked me, might as well say right out, George. Goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. Emily, what is it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but you've got to tell the truth. Shame you, devil.
The change? What do you mean?
Well, up until a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I used to watch you as you did everything because we've been friends so long. And then, you started spending all of your time at baseball, and you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore. Not even to your own family you didn't. And George, it's a fact. You've gotten awful conceited and stuck up. And all the girls say so. I hate to hear them say it, but I can't help but agree with them a little bit. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry that I said it.
No, Emily, I'm glad you said it. I had no idea such a thing was happening to me. Guess it's hard for a fellow not to have some faults creep into his character.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Well, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
My father is, and as far as I know your father is, so I don't see why in the world you shouldn't be too.
Well, I see, but it's the other way around. Men aren't naturally good, but girls are.
You might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be perfect as a man. The girls are more nervous. No, I'm sorry that I said all about you. I didn't know why I said it. Now I know that it's not even true, and I suddenly feel as though it isn't important anyway.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Thank you. I would.
Oh, why, hello, George. Hello, Emily. Why, Emily, what have you been crying about?
Well, she just got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. She almost got ran over by that hardware store wagon. And everybody's saying Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man.
Now you take a drink of water, Emily. You're all shook up. I tell you, you have to look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. It gets worse every year. Now what will you have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate cookies.
No, Emily, have a soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, there are 125 horses in Grover's Corners the minute we're speaking. The state inspectors in here the other day, and they're bringing all these automobiles, and the best thing to do is just stay home. Why, I remember the days when the dog could sit in the middle of Main Street. No harm would come to him at all. Well, here you two are. Enjoy those. Now, Mrs. Ellis, what can I get for you?
They're so expensive.
No, don't you think of that? We're celebrating our election. Do you know what else I'm celebrating? I'm celebrating that I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told me.
No, George, please don't think of that.
No, Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me the way you did, and you stick to it. You bet I'm going to change. I'm going to change so quick. Emily, I want to ask you a favor.
What?
If I go away to State Agriculture College next year, will you write me a letter every once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. I certainly think that being away for 3 years, you get a little out of touch with things. Letters from Grover's Corners may not be very interesting after a while. Grover's Corners is a very interesting place when you think of all New Hampshire. But I think it's a lovely town.
The day wouldn't come and I wouldn't want to know everything that's going on here. You know, that's true, Emily.
Well, then I'll try to make my letters interesting.
You know, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
But George.
Yeah, some of them even say it's a waste of time. You get all that information out of the pamphlets the government sends anyway. Uncle Luke's getting old. He's about ready for me to start taking it over his farm tomorrow if I could.
My.
And like you said, being gone all that time in other places and meeting other people. Gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people aren't any better than old ones, but they almost never are.
But George, maybe it's awful important for you to go and learn about cattle judging, soils, and all that. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
George, I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right, but there was one thing wrong in it, and that was when you said that for a year I wasn't noticing people, and you, for instance. Of course, I always thought about you as one of the chief people I thought about. I always made sure where you were sitting on the bleachers and who you were with. And for a week now, I've been trying to walk home with you, but something's always gotten in the way. Yesterday, I was over against the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corker.
George, life is awful funny. Well, if I had only known.
Listen, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I won't go to agriculture school. I think that once you've found a person that you're fond of, and is fond of you too, and likes you enough to be interested in your character, I think that's just as important as college is, if not more so. That's what I think.
I think that's awful important too.
Emily, if I do change and make a big improvement, would you be, and could you be?
I am now, George. I always have been.
So I guess this is a pretty important talk we can have.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Wait just a minute here and I'll walk you home. Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home and get you money to pay for this.
Now, George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me?
Yes, but I have reasons. Look, here's my gold watch to keep until I get back.
You keep your watch, George. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George, but not a day over. Now that you got all over your shock.
Oh, yes, thank you. It was nothing really.
I'm ready.
Well, get on with the wedding. There are a lot of things to be said about a wedding. And there are a lot of thoughts that go on during a wedding, too. Naturally, we can't fit them all into one wedding, especially one in Grover's Corners where they're awfully plain and short. Now, in this wedding, I play the minister. So that gives me a right to say a few more things about it. For a while now, the play is going to get pretty serious. You know, some churches say marriage is a sacrament. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I confess. It's like what Mrs. Gibbs said a few minutes ago. People were meant to live 2 by 2. Now, this is a good wedding, but even at a good wedding, people are so put together that oftentimes there's a lot of confusion deep down in their minds as well. And we wanted to have that in our play too. Now, the real hero of this scene isn't on the stage at all. And we know who that is. It's like what one of those European fellows said. Every child born is nature's attempt to make a perfect person. Now, nature's been pushing and contriving for some time now. We all know that she's interested in quantity. I think she's pretty interested in quality too. And that is why I'm in ministry. And let's not forget all of the witnesses of this wedding. The ancestors. Millions of them. Most of them set out to live 2 by 2 as well. Millions of them. Well, that's my sermon. It wasn't very long anyways.
As she's done for 17 years, and now she's going off to eat in someone else's room. I suppose that's it. And poor Emily, she suddenly said, I can't eat another mouthful. And she put her head down the table and she cried. Oh, I've got to say it. There's something downright cruel about sending our girls into marriage this way. I hope some of her girlfriends have told her a thing or two. It's cruel, I know, but I couldn't bring myself to say anything. Went to it blind as a bat myself. The whole world's wrong, and that's what's the matter. Here they come.
Hey, George.
Old days in Rome. We're more civilized now, so they say.
George, what's the matter?
I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pushing me so?
George, you wanted this.
Now listen to me.
No, George, you're that enough.
For the last time, all I want to do is be a fella.
George, what if anyone should hear you? Shame of you, now stop.
Where's Ellie?
George, you can't be such a turn.
What are you crying for? I'm getting married.
Will you just catch me for a minute?
Oh, listen, we save Thursday nights. Every Thursday night, Emily and I will come over for dinner. You'll see. Cheer up, Mom. We've got to get ready for this.
I've never felt so alone in my whole life. George over there looking so... Here, I wish I was dead, Papa.
Emily, don't be upset.
But Papa, I don't want to get married.
Shh, everything's going to be alright.
Why can't I just stay as I am for a little while? Let's go away.
No, stop and think a minute.
Papa, remember what you used to say to me? All the time you used to say, all the time, that I was your girl. There's got to be lots of places we can go to. I could work for you. I I could keep house.
Oh, you mustn't think of such things. You're just nervous. Why, you're marrying the finest young fellow in the world. George, will you come over here a minute? George is a fine fellow. George, I'm giving away my daughter. Do you think you can take care of her?
I want to, Mr. Webb. I want to try. I love you, Emily. I need you.
Well, if you love me, then help me. All I want is for somebody to love me.
I will, Emily. I'll try.
I mean forever, do you hear? Forever and ever.
Come, they're waiting for us. Everything will be all right.
Do you, George, take this woman, Emily, to be your lawfully wedded wife? To have...
Perfectly lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever saw. Oh, I do love a good wedding. Don't you? Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
I do.
And do you, Emily, take this man, George, to be your...
Don't know when I've ever been to such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. Don't know why it is. I just love seeing people happy. I think it's lovely.
I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. The cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday morning drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times, it's interesting. Well, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.
Aren't they a lovely couple? I've never been to such a lovely wedding. I'm sure they'll be happy. I will say, happiness, that is the greatest thing. The important thing is to be happy.
That's the end of the second act, folks. There's a 10-minute intermission. My friends, it's summer, 1913. Gradual changes in Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rarer, and farmers are coming into town in Fords. Everybody locks their doors at night now, but there haven't been any burglars yet. But everyone's heard of it. That is a very important thing about Grover's Corners. Don't change very much around here. It's on a hilltop. A windy hilltop. Lots of sky, lots of clouds, and often lots of sun, moon, and stars. Over there are rolling hills. How terribly blue they are. And over there by Lake Sinapee and Lake Winnipesaukee, if you've got a glass, you can see the White Mountains and Mount Washington. And over there is our favorite mountain, Mount Monadnock, surrounded by some towns. Why, there's Jaffrey, and East Jaffrey, and Petersboro, and Dublin. And all the way down there is Grover's Corners. It's lovely up here. Mount Laurel and lilac. I often wonder why people would rather be buried in Woodlawn or Brooklyn. And they can spend the same amount of time up here in New Hampshire. Now over here are the old stones, 1670s and 1680s. Strong-minded people that came a long way for their independence. In summers, people walk around here and laugh at the funny names in the graves. Don't do any harm. And genealogists come up from Boston. They're hired by city folk to tell them that they're daughters of the American Revolution and of the Mayflower. Suppose that don't do any harm either. Wherever you come near the human race, there are layers and layers of nonsense. Now over here, are the Civil War veterans, with iron flags on their graves. New Hampshire boys that had a notion that the Union ought to be kept together, but they never seen more than 50 miles out of themselves. All they knew was the name, friends, the United States of America. And they went and they died about it. And over here is the new part of the cemetery. Here's your old friend, Mrs. Gibbs. Here's Simon Stinson. He was the organist at the Congregational Church. Mrs. Soames. You remember she loved the wedding so. And a number of others. Why, over there is Editor Webb's boy, Wallace. His appendix burst, and the Boy Scout chipped Crawford Notch. Yes, a lot of suffering has sort of quieted down up here. People just wild and free to bring their relatives up here. And then time, and sunny days, and rainy days, and snow. Well, we're all just glad that they're in a beautiful place. And we'll be coming up here when our fit's over. Now, there are some things that we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal. And it ain't houses, and it ain't names, and it ain't the earth, and it ain't even the stars. We all know in our bones that something is eternal. And that something has to do with human beings. All the greatest people ever born have been telling us that for thousands of years, and that you'd be surprised at how often we lose hold of it. But everybody knows that something is eternal. Now, we all know that the dead don't stay very interested in us living people very long. Gradually, they lose hold of the earth, and the ambitions that they had, and the pleasures that they had, and the things that they suffered, and the people that they loved. They get weaned away. That's how I say it, weaned away. And they're waiting here. They're waiting while the earth part of them burns out, burns away. Weren't they waiting for that eternal part in them to come out clear? And some of the things that they're going to say, maybe you'll hurt your feelings. That's just the way it is. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, money and miser, all those terribly important things seem to sort of grow pale around here. And what's left when memory is gone and your identity, Mrs. Smith? Well, there are some living people. Why, here comes Joe Stoddard, our undertaker, supervising a new-made grave. Here comes the Grover's Corners boy, who left town to go out west.
Good afternoon, Miss Stoddard.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me see now, do I know you?
I'm Sam Fred.
Gracious sakes alive of all people. I should have known you'd be back from the funeral. It's been away a long time, Sam.
Yes, I've been away for 12 years now. I'm doing business out in Buffalo now, Joe. I was in the East when I heard the news of my cousin's death, so I thought I could find things a little coming to the old home. You look well.
Yes, can't complain. Very sad our journey today, Susan.
Yes.
Yes. I always hate to supervise when young person's taken. They'll be here in a few minutes now. I had to come here early today. My son's supervising at the home.
Old Farmer Hardy. I used to work for him after school. He had a lovely book.
Yes, we brought Farmer Party up here a number of years ago now.
Why, this is my Aunt Julia. I've forgotten that she... Of course.
Yes, Dawkins lost his wife 2 to 3 years ago about this time. Today's another pretty bad blow for him, too.
You get your food versus much, Joe?
No, not usual, but the breed of the verse.
Doesn't sound like my Aunt Julia. There aren't many of those versus sisters left. Now, let me see. Where are you looking for my father and mother?
Over there with the Craigs, having met.
Simon Simpson. He was organist at church, wasn't he? Drank a lot, we used to say.
No one's supposed to know about it. He'd seen a peck of trouble. Took his own life, you know.
What did he?
Hung himself in the island. They tried to keep it quiet, but of course it got around. He shows his own epitaph. You can see it over there. Name the person.
It's just some notes of music. What is it?
Oh, I wouldn't know. It was written up in the Boston papers at the time.
Joe, what did she die of?
Who?
My cousin.
Oh. Didn't you know? Has some trouble bringing the baby into the world. It was her second ago. It was a boy about 4 years old.
She's gonna be buried over there?
Yes, there ain't much more room over here with the Gibbses, so they're opening up a whole new Gibbs section over right after the beat. You'll have to excuse me now. I see they're coming.
Who is it, Jordan? My daughter-in-law, Billy Red. Eliza Clare. The red of hair was spent off the money. What did she die of? In childbirth. Childbirth? I had forgotten all about that. I was a woman. And wonderful, wasn't it?
Simon, I remember.
I remember her as well. Was it 11? I remember waiting in the hospital at graduation exercises. Emily was one of the smartest girls that ever graduated from high school. Her principal looked and said some time after time. I called her up there with her just before I died. Perfect for me.
Quite smart one. I always liked him. I was hoping they'd sing him.
Hello.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, Mother Gibbs.
Emily.
Hello. It's raining.
You'll be gone soon, dear. Just rest yourself.
Seems thousands and thousands of years since I'll remember that as my favorite thing. I don't like being new here. Wish I'd been here longer. How do you do, Mr. Simpson?
How do you do, Emily?
Well, the gifts. George and I made that farm into just the best place you ever saw. We thought about you all the time. We wanted to show you the new barn and the great long cement drinking fountain with stuff. Well, we built that out of the money you left us.
I did?
Yes, don't you remember? The legacy you left us. Why, it was over $350.
Yes, of course.
There was a patent device on the drinking fountain, so that it never overflows, and it never sinks past a certain point they've got there. Oh, yes, it's fun. It won't be the same for George without the lid. But it's a lovely farm. My buddies spending the day at Mr. Carter's. Oh, Mr. Carter, my boy's spending the day at your house. Why, yes, he just loves it there. Now, the Gibbs have got a Ford, too. I never gave us any trouble. I mean, of course, I do. But Mother Gibbs, when does this feeling go away? Being one of them. How long does it?
Just wait and be patient.
Look, it's finished. We're going. Look, all that gives is bringing some of my flowers to you. He looks just like George.
Those northeast winds always do the same thing, don't they? If it isn't a rain, it's a 3-day blow.
But Mother Gibbs, one can go back. One can go back into the living. Why, I feel it. Oh, I know it. And just now, I was thinking about the farm. And for a moment, I was there. My baby was in my lap, playing stay.
Yes, of course you can.
One can go back there and live all those days over again. And why not?
All I can say is that we don't.
But it's true, isn't it? One can live back there again. Yes, some have tried, but they soon come back here.
Don't do it, Emily. Emily, don't. It's not what you think of me.
I don't live over a sad day, of course. I live over a happy day. Why, I live over the first day I knew I loved George. And why should that be painful? Because you not only live it, but you see yourself living it, yes? And you see what they down there never do. You see the future. You know what's going to happen. But that's painful? Why?
It's not the only reason why you should be doing it. You've been here longer than you understand my life and you're so clear that think only what's ahead, to be ready for what's ahead. You've been here longer than you understand.
When Mother Gibbs, how can I ever forget that life? It's all I know. It's all I had.
Oh, Emily, it isn't wise. Really, it isn't.
But it's a thing I must know for myself. Choose a happy day anyway.
Yeah, choose an important day. Choose the least important day in your life. It will be important enough.
No. And it can't be since I was married. Or since the baby. But I can choose a birthday at least, can't I? I choose my 12th birthday. All right. February 11th, 1899. Tuesday. But do you want any specific time of day? Oh, I want the whole day. All right. We'll begin at dawn. Now, you remember it had been snowing the days before, but it stopped the night previous. And they just begun clearing the roads. Why, look, the sun's coming up. Oh, look, there's Main Street. Oh, and Mr. Morgan's drugstore before he changed it. And a livery stable. Yes, this is 14 years ago, 1899. I knew as a little girl. Oh, there's the white fence that we used to have around our house. I've forgotten. Left it so. Are they inside? Yes. Your mother will be coming downstairs to make breakfast soon. Oh, will she? And do you remember your father had been away for several days? He came home on an early morning train. No. Yes, he was out making a speech at his old college in western New York, at Clinton. Well, there's Helen Newsom. Oh, and there's a police officer. But he died. He's dead. Whoa, Bessie. Bessie. Morning, Bill.
Morning, Allie.
You're early.
I'm calling this morning to let you know. During your birthday, everybody. By Polish Town Car. Yeah, George and Leanne, there's no dress. Well, that means that man walked.
There's Joe Crowell. Good morning, Mr. Warren. Morning, Hal. Morning, Joe.
Children, Wally, Emily, it's time to get up.
Mom, I'm here. Oh, how young Mom was. Didn't know Mom was ever that young.
You can come and get dressed by the fire if you'd like, but hurry. Morning, Miss Harrison. Ooh, it's cold.
Yes, 10 below my bar, Mrs. Webb.
Think of it. Keep yourself up.
Yes, ma'am. Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere.
Just open your eyes, dear. I laid it out for you special on the dresser. If it were a snake, it would bite you.
Good morning, Gil.
Come on, Seth. You're up early.
Just been off to my old college in New York State. Been any trouble here?
Well, I was called this morning because I'm trying to Polish town. $4 on the press for that.
We must get it in the paper.
Wasn't much.
Good morning, Mother.
How did they go, Charles?
Oh, it was all right. Told him a few things. Everything all right here?
Can't think of anything special that happened. Been right cold. Howie Newsom says 10 below over at his barn.
Colder than that in Hamilton University. Students' ears are falling off. It ain't Christian. Paper got any mistakes in it?
None that I noticed. Coffee's ready when you like it. Oh, Charles, don't forget it's Emily's birthday. Did you remember it?
Yes. I have something right here. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Don't interrupt her now, Charles. You can speak to her at breakfast. She's slow enough as it is. Children, hurry up. I don't want to call you again.
I can't bear it. You're so young and beautiful. This is why they would have to. I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all. Everything. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning to my birthday girl. Many happy returns. There's some surprises waiting for you on the table.
Oh, my Mama, you shouldn't have. I can't.
But birthday or no birthday, I want you to eat your breakfast good and slow. I want you to go to be a good, strong girl. That and the blue papers from your Aunt Nora. And I reckon you can guess who the other one's from. Found it on the porch when I came in this morning. A scrapbook album from George Gibbs. Must have come over in the bowl pretty early. Oh, quite nice of him.
George, I'd forgotten that.
Chew the bacon good and slow. It'll help keep you warm on a cold winter's day.
Mama, just look at me 1 minute as though you really saw me. Mama, 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. Your grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs. Mama, Wally's dead too. His appendix burst. On a camping trip to North Conway, and we just felt terrible about it. Don't you remember? Just for a moment now. We're all together. Mama, just for a minute, we're happy. Let's look at one another.
That and the yellow paper is something I found in the attic of your grandma's things. Figured you'd like it now. It's fit for you.
And this one's for you. Right, it's lovely. It's just what I wanted. It's beautiful.
Hope you like it. Had to search all over. Your Aunt Carrie couldn't find one in Boston, so we had to send all the way to Concord. Your brother made something for you too. Made an engineering class and he's very proud of it, so make sure you make a big fuss about it. Your father has something as well. Don't know what it is myself. Shh, here he's coming.
Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
I can't go on. It goes by so fast. We don't even have time to look at one another. I never realized. So all this was going on. I never even noticed. Take me back up to the ultimate grave. But first, goodbye. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama and Papa. Goodbye, the clock's ticking. Mama's sunflowers. New iron dresses and hot baths. and food, and coffee, oh, and sleeping, and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize it. Do human beings ever realize life as they live it? Every minute? No. The saints and poets, they do some.
Were you happy?
No. I should have listened to you. That's all human beings are. Blind people.
Look, it's clearing up. The stars are coming out.
I should have listened to you, Stinson.
Yes. Now you know. Now you know what it is to be alive. To move about in a cloud of ignorance. To go up and down, shrinking under the feelings of those about you. To spend and waste time as if you could really lose. To always be at the mercy of one self-centered passion or another. That's the happy existence you always go back to. Now you know. Ignorance and blindness.
Simon Simpson, bending from the truth, you know it. When we look at that star, look at its name.
My boy Joel was a sailor. He was wonderful. The stars were good company.
Yes, it is.
There's one of them coming.
Mother gives us George.
Shh, dear, just rest yourself.
My boy fell from the stars, just as he took many years of it from early in the year. I can say goodbye and believe it. That's what he used to say, early in the years. Goodness, I get away from it.
Now to be home.
Mother gives.
Yes, Emily?
They don't understand, do they?
No, they don't understand.
Nearly everybody's asleep in Grover's Corners. There are still a few lights on. Shorty Hawkins down at the depot has just watched the Albany train go by. And a few men are up at the livery stable, staying up late and talking. Yes, it's clearing up. And there are the stars. Doing a little crisscross journey across the sky. The scientists haven't quite figured it out yet, but they seem to believe that there are no living beings up there, only fire and chalk. But this one is straining away. Straining away every day just to make something of itself. Straining so bad that every 16 hours, everybody lays down and gets a rest. $11 in Grover's Corners. You should get a good rest too. Good night. We often do a little thing called Senior Mic Check, where the seniors kind of talk about their favorite memories and sing a little song from each show that they've been part of. And I don't know if we've done this in years past for the play, but we kind of wanted to replicate this as well. Okay, well we did. So here we are doing it again. So I'm going to begin with Jenny.
Hello? There we go. So, this is my first play and last play of my senior year. But hopefully I can join the play in college or something. It's probably sweeping the stage.
Okay. This is also my first play and my last one. And I just talk about how proud I am of everyone because oh my god, everyone is so cute. That's all of you. And even though we spend so much time together, we figure out how to not get terribly annoyed with one another. And that's something that I'm not the best at, but you guys are just the best. And I'm very happy that we get to practice together with you guys. And yeah, love this.
Okay, hi, I'm Leah. I've been doing the play since the Westing Games. Since the Westing Games, I've also done Love Rangers, Shaking Up Shakespeare Night, Shakespearean Shenanigans, or whatever the full title was, and now Our Town. And my favorite memory from all the shows was during the Westing Games. That's actually when I started becoming the props goddess. I did props with Anna Scheller and Mrs. Moser, and that was actually like the first time we had nurses in position as opposed to like everybody just doing it. So I don't know, you could say like I kind of started it. And, I decided to continue with it because Jordan Trout told me one night that I was doing a really good job, and like I don't know if she really measures or if like it was just like, oh my gosh, great job, Lydia. But either way, it was a little compliment that gave me a big head, and so now I'm the props goddess. And so just keep complimenting each other and being nice to each other because it helps boost a person's ego and it makes them feel good.
Hi, I'm Rita. I also started, I started with Cinderella, but first play was Westing Game. And I don't really remember much from Westing Game, to be honest. But Lydia was talking about doing props, and I distinctly remember sitting with her and Anna Scheller and wrapping gifts that were going to, like, explode.
Yes,
So that was
yes.
And then the next show was Love Rangers, and this is kind of mean of me, but my favorite memory from that was sitting in the booth and watching everyone get yelled at for the windows because it wasn't my fault. So it was kind of funny. Then Shaking It Up. My favorite memory from that is probably watching Calder sway.
It's mine
for a
too.
long period of time. And then my favorite memory from this show is getting to sit in the booth with my brother. I love you, Tracy. And second.
Hi guys, I'm Paige. So I started doing the plays for Little Women, and I actually did cast before I ever did Drew. I was Aunt March. I was this really mean and snobby rich lady who came in and like made fun at all of the daughters for being okay. Yeah, I am. My favorite memory is I had to wear a bustle. So that's basically like, I can't even explain it. It's like a half circle piece of like foam that you wrap around your butt to like make it bigger. And I remember specifically one night I chose not to wear it because I was like, I don't like this. And then I think Miss Whistler at the end of the show was like, where was your bustle? And I was like, sorry. So I had to wear it the next night and it was pretty terrible. But so then the next play was Weston Game, and that's when I started doing crew. So my favorite memory from that was probably we had this hospital bed that Teresa laid on after she got like blown up by the exploding pits. And Confetti wouldn't let anyone sit on it except for me, so she would let me like take naps back there. Not that I would ever like sleep, but like just like lay down and stuff. So I was really special. I was the only one who got to touch the seconds, so that was fun. Then after that, it was 12 Angry Jurors, and that was my first play as assistant student stage manager. So that was really fun. And my favorite memory from that was how we did the whole theme of exposure and how I got to sit out and actually watch the entire play, and then also become a part of it because we got to come out and like move the actors and stuff, and make them like come alive. So it was like I was being an actor too while still doing crew. Okay, so then Shaking It Up. Kind of a similar favorite memory because since we weren't behind walls because we didn't have a stage, I just got to sit and watch the entire show, and that was really fun because I loved watching Taylor come out being a ghost, and I loved watching Skylar come out like saying, hey, Nani, 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 and then like dropping dead. And then finally, now here I am at our town. This is my first play as student stage manager, and I have wonderful Alice Rose with me. And it's been a really, really fun time. I'm not sure if I exactly have a favorite memory because it's still like happening. But I would have to say, I guess doing set painting because I really liked spending time with Miss Haynes, who made an incredible set. So yeah, go crew and cast. And thank you all for this wonderful community and a really fun.
Hello, I'm Jason Loney. As most of you probably already know, I grew with CCST back when it was just Collegiate Center Stage. That was probably like 7 years ago. Like, do I feel old? But I didn't start doing plays till I was in Westingate. I was Barney Northrop, one of those slick con men, more like a Eddie Brock, Pre-Mem, symbiote, if anybody gets that reference. But yeah, my favorite moment for that was my costume, because it just felt like one of these slick guys. Like, I couldn't take my hands off my suit. Like, I was literally standing like this for all my scenes. That and kicks in the shin was pretty fun. But I jumped out of the play for a little bit until Miss Whistler, go Miss, contacted me about being an usher for 12 Angry Jurors. So that was a lot of fun. It was a big thing for me, but I was glad I was able to help out. And then I jumped to Shaking It Up from cast and crew, in which I was welcomed with open arms. A lot of fun. Krogo was one of my favorite moments from that. And here I am now with our town. I can't really say I have a favorite moment either because the show is still going on, but honestly, the overall thing that I love about this is that I myself, as a loner, actually managed to find friends, family, just a family, a place I could probably call home. I love you all, and I guess I can make my peace with this. Next.
Okay. So I'm Marshall, but you guys know me by now. The first play I did was, I used to do sports in the fall, so I didn't really do the plays as much until 12 Angry Jurors. I decided I'd give it a go. So I was a judge for that, so I got to stand right over there, and I just realized this is one of the last times I'm going to be able to actually point to that spot and say that I stood there. I was right up there, I had this microphone, I felt like an MC, except I got to talk about murder in the first degree. Premeditated homicide. And just for fun, right before we came here, I decided to say it all in my head, and I still have it. I still have it. Murder. It's the first degree. Premeditated homicide is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You have heard a long and complex case, ladies and gentlemen. It is now your duty to sit down and try to separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead, life will never at stake. If there is any doubt in your mind as to the guilt of the accused, you must declare him not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, he must be found guilty. Whichever way you decide, the verdict must be unanimous. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Over there, and I sat down in a chair and did word searches for about 2 hours. And then next year, I liked it so much I came back. And so we did Shaking It Up. And that one was very unusual. We even have this stage right here. But one of the most vivid memories I have from that was, it didn't actually happen during the show. It was during one of the rehearsals. We were out here, and we were doing our Hamlet fencing scene. And but we were doing it the improv way, where we do it in different movie styles, which I really liked. And someone said, I can't remember who it was, someone said the Dance Mom style. And then Calder turned to me, I had no idea this was going to happen. He turned to me and yelled something like,
I can't believe you tweeted about this. I can't believe you tweeted about this.
He yelled it, like, I can't believe you tweeted about me, and just raised his sword over his head. And like chased me around the stage. I thought at that moment that I was going to die. I felt more unsafe then than I did trying to jump up backwards onto that bench that would like wobble a little bit every time I landed on it. I think that one forced me to confront my own mortality about the same number of times as this show was. Which brings me to this show. This is the last one we're going to do in this auditorium. It's the last one I'm going to do in high school. So, I mean, I've been talking about like favorite moments and just one thing, and that's a lot of the focus on our town. It's just like one thing at a time, one moment at a time, you know. And I was trying to think as it was coming down the line. I was running out of time, trying to pinpoint one. And I realized that that maybe I don't have a favorite memory from this one. Maybe it's just like a collection of memories, you know, like the whole thing in itself. And it hit me when we ran this the first time, all through. Which I think was like the first or the last 2 rehearsals for the show on Monday. When I had gotten through that, I realized that, this is the last time I was going to be doing something like that, and before leaving it behind forever. So it was, really hit me in that moment. I'm still not quite sure what to say about it, but I think pretty much every moment along the way has been a favorite moment for me. Do you want to?
This way, guys.
Hairspray.
Hi guys. Okay, so I'm already crying. So my first play was Little Women, because I didn't know we were allowed to do the plays when we were in 7th grade, so I just didn't do just another high school play. I didn't come to see it. It was weird, but I liked it. So my first play that I was in was Little Women, and I was Marmee. Now this started the long cycle of being a mom that never ended. Here we are today. That I wouldn't trade it for the world. We had a really amazing set for that show. Like, it was a house, and it had this, like, we made a wallpaper, and it had a wall that was, and it sloped, and it was so cool, and it was, like, amazing. And every time I stepped in it, I felt immersed, and it was just really cool. And I think I wrote down that my favorite memory was Paige's bustle. It made your butt look really good. And I also enjoyed when Teresa fell through, like, that hole when she was ice skating, and then they had to spray her with water every night. It's so funny to watch. Good stuff. Okay, next one was Weston Game, and that was the first and only time I've ever had, I'm allergic to snot bubbles, my hair down for a CCST show. First and only time. That was pretty cool. There was like the scene when Harry dropped dead, I think, and then like Mike, what's his name?
he had to like safely fall on the ground and die. And that just stuck out to me.
I was the doctor.
You were the doctor?
Yeah.
What was Nathan Alexander? Wasn't he another doctor?
He was like a nurse.
There were a lot of doctors in that show. It's a weird blur. And then in 12 Angry Jurors, my favorite memory, hands down, was when Anna Newland kicks down the door at the beginning of Act 3, only for the last show, which is the one we filmed. It's just a very good memory, because we all started laughing, but it was a very tense moment. And also the trip to Bloomsburg was really amazing, and I think that we all bonded so much on that trip. Like when we were running lines in the pool, we didn't really run lines, we were just kind of sweeping. Yes, 12 aquatic jurors. So that was fun, and All-State actor Alex Dean lives on in all of our hearts. I wasn't in Shaking It Up either because I had another obligation, but my favorite memory was when I saw that show and Calder came around and stabbed all of our legs. And I'll never forget that moment. But now we come to this show, and I wanted to read a quote, and it's Anna's quote when Emily's like, in the world of the dead, and she says, "Let's really look at one another. It goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. I didn't realize. So all that was going on and we never noticed. Wait, one more look. Goodbye, goodbye world. Goodbye Grover's Corners. Goodbye Mama and Papa and clocks ticking. Mama's sunflowers and food and coffee and new iron dresses and hot baths and sleeping and waking up. Oh Earth, you are too beautiful for anyone to realize you. I have enjoyed every single moment. It's easiest to you. With this show specifically, because it helped me realize how incredibly fast all this time goes by. Because I remember like just yesterday, auditions were happening and we were all wishing each other good luck. And then we blinked and now the show is here. And like a moment ago, it was August, and now a lot of us have already applied for colleges. And like tomorrow we'll all be going off to these colleges and leaving each other. And like we'll never all be together again. And this show has really helped me realize that. And it's like a minute has passed since we were in 6th grade, and Miss Irby said that the 6th graders could go in the center and do that part where we're all shimmying and all that. During Arabian Nights, and we were all like, okay, that's weird, but okay. And just soon we'll all be moving on. And this show is a good reminder that we all need to slow down and smell the heliotrope, because soon it will melt away and it's gone forever. We have to enjoy every moment with each other. So thank you for helping me realize this and giving me a family for the past 6 years. I love you.
Can you hold her?
My first play was in 7th grade. I was on crew for just another high school play. And I didn't start until tech week. It was super disorganized. I don't even think I wasn't in the program or anything. I was just kind of there. So that was fun. It was a fun show. I remember that was the first time that Alex Covetti ever yelled at me. Was she? That might have been the next year. I don't remember. And it wasn't the last. Yeah. Anytime she comes back, I throw the yell at me. And so then in 8th grade, I did plays for Little Women because I don't know what meter was late. I don't really remember much about that show. I remember
Unforgettable.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I didn't do a Westing game. I don't remember why. I just didn't. And then in 12 Angry Jurors, I had a bunch of lines about advertising. That was everything I said. I'm in advertising. I'm missing my job. Who just said something? I don't know. I remember when Frances had to reenact the stabbing, and she rolled around on the floor. I remember that was fun. I feel like there was something else I was going to say that I can't remember. No, that wasn't it. But that also happened. Alex Dean was supposed to the fall after you got stabbed. It took 2 seconds, and that wasn't the court document or whatever. But Alex said
during the show.
During the show, so that happened.
You said what?
takes 20 seconds to fall.
Oh, well, Shakespeare. Yeah. That was a really fun show. I liked playing Hamlet for 15 minutes. Actually, fun fact, one of my college essays is about how I'm like a versatile person. And I wrote a paragraph about how I played Hamlet and a drag queen in the same year. I thought that was kind of fun, because like, they don't know it was like for 15 minutes. I don't remember, there were like a lot of funny things that happened in that show, and I was just reminded of like the stabbing thing, and I had this word. Oh, and on Saturday night, the last show, it was us. We were in like the graveyard, but I don't even know what the story is. And they like find like a skull in like the ground or something, and Taylor pulled it out and was like, the line is like, it's Yorick's skull. But Yorick was in like the front row, and we both like looked right at him and it was like, it's Yorick's, and then he like didn't realize it. And it was red too, the school was like red, so it was like, yeah. Okay, and then now this show is Our Town. I don't know like what to say about this show, but it's been fun. I remember at the repro, I was like, this place is so weird, but like, we got into it, and like, there's so much depth here, and like, I've told people, like, that have thought it was weird, like, my parents thought it was weird when they saw it, and I was like, you have to read the shit, like, you have to read it too. And they were like, maybe we will, and I was like, did it. So, yeah, I think it's cool how much, like, depth we've gotten into it. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. So my first show was just another high school play, and I played both Amy and the puppeteer for our little puppet show. My favorite memory from that was when I realized how weird this theater group actually is, when I came on stage dressed as the Grim Reaper, and Serena was on stage going around with a spaghetti bowl on top on his and I was like, okay, cool, these are cool people. And then after that was Little Woman, and I played Deja's like service person, her assistant. And my favorite memory from that was when Kelly died, and we decided to have Harry carry her off after the blackout instead of just like having her get up after the blackout. And we convinced one kid that she was actually dead in the audience, and he was very upset. But it's okay, she's not dead. And then after that was the Weston game. And my character was in a wheelchair, and I had a stutter. So that was fun. And my favorite part of that show was every night, it was always either Nate or Bailey who was pushing my wheelchair, and they always threatened to push me right off the stage. So that was when I asked for the little tape that lights up to be on the edge of the stage. And then my favorite line from that was, Melanarius, a worthless fellas. It's a type of bird. And then after that was Chloe New Jurors, and I was the clerk. And I had one line that was right after Marshall, and it was, the jury will now retire. It definitely made the whole show. And then after 12 New Jurors was Shaking It Up, and I can stand up for this one. My favorite part of the show. And then, after Shaking Up was Our Town. And Our Town is my first show as the assistant director, and will also be my last play as the assistant director. And that was like one of my favorite things doing here, was being in that role as also being as well, which was also very nice. But my favorite moment, I think, would have to be, it was also the first time I went to Light Focus, and I liked it because it was like Alice Rose, Anna, Paige, and I were just kind of on stage, just like performing different songs from like Anastasia and choir practice while they were trying to do like technical things. And we were just standing here and singing our hearts out. But yeah, so that's all the questions.
Okay, I have one more thing to say, and that is that yes, we're the seniors, but this last show in this auditorium because we're actually getting a new auditorium now. I just want everyone to put their all into this show because there's a lot of emotion that comes with saying goodbye to this auditorium and getting a new one. So I just want everybody to like really think about that when they're getting sad and think for the last scene. Because this is like, we've all grown up together in this space and now it's time for us to say goodbye. So really put your all into this show as it's our last show in this space right here.
Forgive me, I'm going to be incredibly self-indulgent. I have a special connection with a lot of these kids. I really kind of think about this group as like they kind of started when I started, or at least when I started, like they were just so young or little, and I've learned that they've been such an integral part of my journey. So I kind of wanted to do sort of like my little homage to the senior lecture and kind of talk about the fall plays that I've been involved in with so many of you wonderful people. So the first fall play that I was involved in was the Westing game. And that was the first chance that I had to stage manage here at Collegium. What I really loved about that was like getting to like work with the crew in a really special way, because it's different when you work with the crew as a director versus a stage manager. And there was just something about that show that I feel like we really bonded and we just had so much fun. It was just such a fun show to tech. Given all of the stuff that we messed up, sorry. But we had a lot of fun messing it up. I do remember on that note that there were many miscues on my part when I was running sound. So much so that I think doorbells became I also recall that I was only signed up for one job on that show, but somehow I also got to direct the last kind of show week, because Wiz had sort of thrown herself so much into directing that show that she had made herself ill, and after tech she was so sick that she had gotten, was it pneumonia?
That was the last year I didn't get a flu shot. That was the worst I've ever
But it was
sick
so
I've ever
awful
been.
that she barely even made it. Thankfully, she was able to make it to closing night. But it was my honor to kind of help take it through. And
you guys did a wonderful job.
And they did. And I think I remember us always kind of putting our hands in and say for the Wiz, for the Wiz. So good memories there too. Yeah, I think it was really like just the crew. I just really remember the crew being an amazing connection that we had built then. It's lasted till now. It's been awesome. So then my next fall play was 12 Angry Jurors. And I like to call that 12 Angry Seniors, because there were so many seniors that were in that show, and we were all very angry. But that was a really unique show acting-wise, because all of the actors had to be in the show the entire time. And I felt like that really got us all kind of connected really tightly as a group. I also love that the production concept sort of allowed to bring you guys kind of into it and nailed it. And of course, one of the, I guess we can laugh about it now. We're devastated. Just to give you a little short story on the windows. We had sort of an open set. The back of the set all had these large windows that were to be opened and written into the set, and they came from Mr. Dempsey's. Like, they were just beautiful old windows from his barn that had been salvaged, and they were up and they had like just this beautiful amount of dust. This lovely element of like an old jury room. It just kind of like perfect. And because of the way the lights were hitting, it kind of softened the lights, so there wasn't like a direct reflection on windows. The dust had kind of just perfectly covered the lights, and it kind of design-wise, had done exactly what I wanted them to do. But the cast didn't know that. They had seen that I had like clean other windows on the other side of the set, and it's assumed that those windows were going to be clean for the so it was during an act break. That's
It was before we even started.
Was it before?
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Because
Before we even started the dress rehearsal, they thought they were being super cute. And most times that would have been cute, but they had put like little, writings into the dust. They had little notes of love to each other.
Wasn't that when you took a PTO day just to clean them
up?
up?
I had not known until the lights were up, and I was just like.
She was not happy.
No, she was not.
I actually needed to take a few moments. I think I had like.
She had to take time off work.
And 1.5 PTO days later, turned out kind of fix those windows. They all worked out well. And yes, we can laugh about it. Very funny memory that I still love doing that stuff. So that brings us to Shake It Up. I'll be fast now. You guys have to get in the we didn't have a stage. That was fun. The Walker was one of my absolute favorites. This swaying was also fantastic. All of the dying was amazing. You guys destroyed me at Anamia, another fun memory. And many struggles. I'm not looking in anybody's direction. With lawns. But we persevered and we came together. So that was so fun. Our town, making Abby cry. All of the time. It was really great to see all of you kind of like lead and nurture and kind of help parent this family that we have. It's been amazing to watch all of you work with our younger and up and coming talented cast that we have. That's one of the joys that I get to watch, is just seeing everyone sort of move up and pass the torch. And you guys have been amazing during this whole process. Also having my Thelma back, having Liz on stage management has been amazing. So that's one of my highlights as well. And finding our unique ending too, that was something special. So thank you, all of you. Thank you for letting me be indulgent. I just really love all of you. I'm very grateful for every moment that we shared together over the years. You all have costumes, get in them right now.
When are you doing mic check? It is 6:08.
As soon as your costumes, and then right back here.
Play is called Our Town. It was written by Gordon Wilder and produced by Collegium Center Stage Theater. It was directed by Mrs. Kim Christman, and in it you will find, in no particular order, Miss Smith, Mr. Zaloni, Miss Mitchell, Miss Somar, and Mr. Adkins, among many others. The name of our town is Grover's Corners, New Hampshire, just across the Massachusetts line. Latitude 42 degrees, 40 minutes. Longitude 70 degrees, 37 minutes. The first act features a day in our town. That day is May 7th, 1901, and the time was just before dawn. The sky is beginning to show some streaks of light over the east there, just behind our mountain. The morning star always looks so wonderfully bright, just a moment before it has to go. Doesn't it? Well, I better show you how our town lies. Now up here is Main Street. And over there is the railway station. Tracks go that way. Now just across the tracks is Polish Town with some Canuck families. And over there is the Congregational Church. And Presbyterian is just across the street. And Methodist and Unitarian are over there. And Baptist is down in Hollow by the river. And Catholic is just across the tracks. Now over here is the town hall and the post office combined with the jail in the basement. Ryan once made a speech from these very steps here. I know over here is a row of stores with hitching posts and horse blocks in front of them. The first automobile is going to come along in around 5 years. I belong to Benjamin Cartwright. That's our richest citizen. He lived up on the White House on the hill over there. And over here is Mr. Morgan's drugstore and the grocery store. Most everybody in our town manages to look at these two stores at least once a day. Now over yonder is the public school, with the high school even further. Most every day, mornings, noon times, and 3 o'clock afternoons, the whole town can hear yelling and screaming coming from those schoolyards. Why, now this is our doctor's house. There is some scenery for those who think that we have to have scenery. And over here is the back door. Now this is Mrs. Gibbs's garden. Corn, peas, hollyhock, heliotrope, and a lot of burdock. Now in those days, our play came out twice a week, the Grover's Corner Sentinel. Why, over here is Edgar Webb's house. And over here is Mrs. Webb's garden. Much like Mrs. Gibbs, only a lot of sunflowers to choose from. And over here is a big butternut tree. It's a nice town, you know what I mean? Nobody very remarkable will ever come out of it as far as we know. The oldest tombstone would be the cemetery up there from 1670 and 1680. It's Growers and Cartwrights and Gibbses and Hersey's, the same names as around here now. Well, as I said, it's about dawn, and the only lights on in town are over by the tracks, where a Polish woman is just giving birth to twins. And in the Joe Crowell house, where Joe Crowell Jr. is getting ready to deliver the paper, and then the depot, where Shorty Hawkins is getting ready to flag the 545 to Boston. Now naturally, out in the countryside, there have been lights on for some time now, what with milking and so. The town folk sleep late. So another day has begun. Here comes Doc Gibbs coming down Main Street back from that baby case. And his wife will be coming downstairs to make breakfast soon. Doc Gibbs died in 1930. They named the new hospital after him. Mrs. Gibbs died first, though. She went out to visit her daughter, Rebecca, who married an insurance man in Canton, Ohio, and died there. Pneumonia. They brought her body back up here. Now she's in the cemetery, in a whole mess of Gibbses and Herseys. She was Julia Hersey before she married Doc Gibbs in the Congregational Church over there. In our town, we like to know the facts about everybody. Now Mrs. Webb will be coming down to make breakfast soon now too. That right there, that's Doc Gibbs. He got that call about 1:30 this morning. And here comes Joe Crowell Jr. delivering the paper.
Morning, Doc Gibbs.
Morning, Joe.
Want your paper now?
Yes, I'll take it. Anything serious going on in the world since Wednesday?
Yes, sir. My school teacher, Miss Foster's getting married to a fella over in Concord.
I declare. How do you boys feel about that?
Well, of course it's none of my business. But I think if someone starts out to be a teacher, she ought to stay one.
How's your knee, Joe?
Fine, Doc. I never think about it at all. Only like you said, it always tells me when it's going to rain.
What's it telling you today? Going to rain?
No, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever make a mistake?
No, sir.
I want to tell you something about that Joe Crowell there. Joe was awful bright. He graduated from high school here, top of his class. He got a scholarship to Massachusetts Tech and graduated top of his class there, too. It was all wrote up about in the Boston papers at the time. He's going to be a great engineer, Joe was. Till the war broke out. He died in France. All of that education for nothing.
Whoa, Bessie. What's the matter with you today?
And there's Howie Newsom delivering the milk.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Howie.
Somebody sick?
Pair of twins over at Mrs. Corey's Slosson's.
Wednesday. It sounds like a bigger afternoon.
Going to rain, Howie?
No. Fine day. Got it. Come on, Bessie.
Hello, Bessie. How old is she, Howie?
Going
Going on 17. Bessie's all mixed up by the roots ever since the Lockhart stopped taking their court over there. Always wants me to leave the court just the same. Keeps putting in the portrait.
Good morning, Howie.
Good morning, Mrs. Gibbs. Doc just come from the street.
Busy? Seems like you're late today.
Yes, something went wrong in the separator. Kept my voice. Doc?
Howie?
Children, time to get up. George, Rebecca. Everything all right, Frank?
Yes, I declare. Easy as cookies.
Bacon will be ready in a minute. Make your coffee. You can catch a couple hours sleep this morning, can't you?
Miss Wentworth's coming at 11. Guess I know what it's about, too. Her stomach ain't what it ought to be.
Well, all told, you won't get more than 3 hours sleep. Frank Gibbs, I don't know what's going to become of you. I do wish I could get you to go away someplace, take a rest. I think it'd do you good.
Emily, time to get up. Well,
It's 7 o'clock. Declare, you've got to speak to George. Seems like something's come over him lately. He's no help to me at all. Can't even get him to cut me some wood.
Is he being sassy to you?
No, he just whines all he thinks about is that baseball. George, come back, you'll be late to school. George!
George, look sharp.
Yes, Bob.
Don't you hear your mother calling you? I guess I'll go upstairs and get 40 winks.
Wally, Emily, you're going to be late for school now. I don't want to call you again. Wally, you wash yourself up good or I'll come up and do it myself.
Mom, what dress should I wear? Don't make a noise. Your father's been out all night and he needs his rest. I washed and ironed the blue gingham for you special.
But Ma, I hate that dress.
Hush up with you.
Every day I go to school looking like a sick turkey.
Now, Rebecca, you always look very nice.
Mom, Georgia's going so bad at me.
I'll go up and I'll slap the both of you. That's what I'll do.
We've got a factory in our town too. Did you hear it? It makes blankets. The Cartwrights are in it and run them a fortune.
Children, now I won't have it. Breakfast is just as important as any other meal of the day, and I won't have you gobbling it like wolves. It'll stunt your growth, and that's a fact. Put away, little girl.
Oh, but Mom, my dad got to know all about Canada.
You know the rules as well as I do. No books at the table. As for me, I'd rather have my children healthy than hurt.
I'm both, Mama. You know I am. I'm the smartest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory.
Eat your breakfast.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking at my stamp collection.
I'll talk to your father about it when he's rested, but it seems to me 25 cents a week is enough for a boy your age. Declare, I don't know how you spend it all.
Oh, I've got a lot of things to buy.
Strawberry phosphates, that's what you spend it on.
I don't see how Rebecca comes to have so much money. She has more than $1.
I've been saving it up gradually.
Well, dear, it's a good thing to spend some every now and then.
Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do ya? Money.
Eat your breakfast.
Mama, there's the first job.
Oh, George.
Walk fast, but you don't need to rush. While we close the kids.
Tell Miss All-Star sent my best congratulations. Can you remember that?
Yes, Mom.
You look real nice with that extra on your feet. Here, ching, ching, ching. Oh, baby. Okay. Here, ching, ching, ching. Oh, what's the matter with you? Fight, fight, fight. That's all you do. You don't belong to me. Here, come here. Oh, don't be so scared. Nobody's going to hurt you. Good morning, Myrtle. How's your cold?
Well, I've still got that tickling feeling right through. Told Charles I wouldn't go to choir practice tonight. Would it be any use?
Have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but somehow I can't do that to stay on the key. While I rest myself, I thought I'd string some of these beans.
Let me help you. Things have been good this year.
Figured I'd put up 40 quirks if it kills me. The children say they hate them, but I noticed they able to get them down in winter.
Now, Myrtle, I've got to tell you something, because if I don't tell somebody, I think I'll burst.
Actually, it is.
Myrtle, did one of those second-hand furniture men from Boston come to see you last Friday?
No.
Well, he called on me, and first I thought he was a patient, went to see the doctor, and he wormed his way into a parlor, and Myrtle went. He offered me $350 for Grandmother Wentworth's highboy as I was sitting there.
Why, Julie,
He did. That old thing, why, it was so big I didn't know where to put it, and I was giving it to Cousin Hester Wilcox.
Where you're going to take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know $350. What's coming for you?
Well, if I could get the doctor to take the money and go away someplace and sell it like that. You know, it's been the dream of my life to see Paris France, Myrtle. Oh, I don't know. For years I've been telling myself that if we ever had the chance.
How does the doctor feel about it?
Well, I did beat about the bush a little, said that if I got a legacy, that's the way I put it, I'd make him take me someplace.
What did he say?
You know how he is. Haven't heard a serious word out of him since I've known him. No, he said, I'd make him discontented with Grover's Quarters, go trips and back then. I don't let well enough alone, he says. Every 2 years he makes trips to the battlefields of the Civil War, and that's enough treat for anyone, he says.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way Dr. Gibbs knows everything about the Civil War. Mr. Webb's a good mind to give up Napoleon and move over to the Civil War. Only Dr. Gibbs, being one of the greatest experts in the country, just makes up the spare.
It's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy as when he's at Antietam or Gettysburg. Times I have walked over those hills, Myrtle, stopping at every bush and gazing it all out like we were going to buy it.
Well, if that second-hand man's really serious about buying it, Julia, you sell it. And then we'll get to see Paris for sure. Just keep dropping hints from time to time. That's how I got to see the alien to go shooting them.
Oh, I'm sorry I said anything. Well, it seems to me that once in your life before you die, you ought to see somewhere where they don't talk in English and you don't even want to.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. And we're going to skip ahead a few hours. See, I'd like to get a little more information about our town. A sort of scientific account, you might say. So I've asked Professor Willard of our State University to come in, sketching a few details about our town. Professor Willard?